This commentary is brought to you by the internet talk show What's Trending. Check out the What's Trending channel for live coverage of the Consumer Electronics Show and subscribe to their page to see exclusive interviews with people like iJustine, Mike Realm, Snooki, 50 Cent, Eliza Dushku, and more. Hey guys, what's going on? It's Lefty from 643 Productions coming at you here with a Modern Warfare 3 free-for-all gameplay commentary. Here I am in the map Seatown using the MP5 with a red dot and the kick proficiency. This gameplay is edited for shit. I try as I might, this was honestly the best game I could get tonight with the MP5. And I really wanted to talk with you guys about the MP5 because I've, again, been trying to use it. And through my trials and tribulations with the weapon, I came to realize something, and that is quite a deviation from my normal stand, and that's I think the MP5 needs a buff. Now, hear me out on this, hear me out. I know I'm regularly the guy that's calling out weapons for being overpowered and dismaying people that use it and dismaying Robert Bowling and Infinity Ward and all that, but I really do think that the MP5 is not very well balanced within the SMG class, and what's more, I think it's unbalanced in the wrong direction, although I guess if you're designing a game, you would rather err on the side of caution than err on the side of overpowered if you're making a game for hardcore gamers, but again, that gets into this game isn't about hardcore players anymore, well, whatever, that's a commentary, a few different commentaries for a few different times, but I don't think the MP5 is very balanced within the SMG class. Like I said, hear me out on this one. Hear me out. The MP5 has an RPM of 800. It does a max damage of 42 with a clip size of 30, extended 45, and its range to drop off, that means where it starts to drop off in damage, is 600 units, in-game units, and it ends its drop off at 800. It has a reload time normal of 2.5 seconds or thereabouts. It reloads empty at about 3 seconds. Again, thereabouts, it's 3.03. But here's the thing. It has a lot of recoil. Its recoil pattern, again, it's hard to visualize, but its recoil pattern is such that the gun is guaranteed, virtually guaranteed, to start bucking upwards when going full auto. Even when not going full auto, even just a few shots, even just trying to controlled bursts, it's going to buck. And even with the kick proficiency, it still does, as you can see here in this gameplay a few times. Now, I know what you're saying. You say, well, how is that unbalanced? How is that underpowered? Why is it in need of a buff? There are two other weapons in the SMG class that do 42 damage. The PP90 M1 and the P90. Both of those weapons do way more in terms of RPM than the MP5. Well, not really way more. The P90 does 57 more rounds per minute, but the PP90 outclasses the MP5 in terms of RPM. And what's more, they both do the same damage, but they both, the P90 and the PP90, have very, very little recoil compared to the MP5. So, in the MP5, what we have is a gun with median damage, median RPM, but more damage than its compatriots in its class, and the subgroup in the SMG class that are really supposed to be its counterparts. The PP90 and the P90 are supposed to be counterparts to the MP5. The thing is, the MP5 doesn't really have anything going for it. It can be bested in terms of RPM by its two brethren, the PP90 and the P90. They both do the same amount of damage, or all three of them do the same amount of damage, but the PP90 and P90 have way better recoil patterns and have way more manageable recoil. So here's what I propose. I don't want to make the MP5 a gone gun. Don't worry, just like I say when I want a weapon nerfed, I don't want it nerfed into oblivion. I don't want it to be unusable afterwards. I just want it to be frickin' balanced. Now here's what I propose. Not an increase to damage, not an increase to RPM. First of all, I understand what Infinity Ward was trying to go after in terms of how they modeled the MP5 versus the PP90 and the P90. They want to give you some choice in how things work and how the gun does in terms of damage and RPM. And I get that, and I don't want to change that. What I think the MP5 needs in order to be balanced, given its RPM and damage, which we aren't going to change, is a more manageable recoil plot. I would say maybe the P90 but I think it even needs to be better given where it sits in terms of RPM and damage. I think it needs to be better than the PP90, and the PP90 has very, very, very manageable recoil. Not so far as the MP7, but somewhere in between the PP90 and the MP7. I think the MP5 needs a tweak to its recoil pattern in order to be balanced with the rest of the SMGs. Otherwise, there's really no point to using it. It becomes more of a vanity weapon like the PM9. But anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comments. That's my time. I got to get out of here. Thank you for joining. I hope you enjoy. Be sure to drop a like on this video if you did enjoy. I am out.